Let's talk about the locations where Scorpion Grass Bridge was shot. The big one? The Pajaro River. This was the main location for the imaginary Pacheco River. The Pajaro is the southern boundary of Santa Cruz County. It was perfect because it's not too far from where I live, it's easy to park there, there's a simple kayak put in, and the river has a lot of variety. It's wide and peaceful closer to the ocean, and then it gets narrower and a little more spooky further inland. Because part of the narrative here is about what's real and what's imagined, I wanted the name of the river to sound familiar. I wanted people to hear Pacheco and think, oh, I've heard that before. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Pajaro River, or like the town of Pacheco. I wanted a name that was just on the edge of familiar. And crossing the Pajaro River is the McGowan-Thurwachter Bridge. This is what we used for Scorpion Grass Bridge. It's farms for miles around here, and this is a little rural bridge connecting Santa Cruz County to the north with Monterey County to the south. I loved it because it was simple and plain looking and not spooky at all. The scene with Gloria we shot on Los Gatos Creek, where it flows into the southern end of the Lexington Reservoir. The creek is beautiful and it feels isolated, but it's actually an easy hike in from the road. The reservoir is also the location of the pool where Will finds his boat. I love this spot because it's such a surreal space for what really needed to be a surreal scene. One of the main tunnels is also next to the reservoir, and that's a great spot because I knew there was a cool view right outside the mouth of the tunnel. St. Joseph's Hill Open Space Preserve is the area where Will talks about hallucinating and then he falls out of the tree. I wanted the hilly terrain there to really sell that idea that Will had been transported far away from the beach. Other than the tunnel at the reservoir, the entire tunnel sequence was shot along the coast just south of Davenport, California. Even though they all serve the same purpose of letting mountain streams drain into the sea, each tunnel is a little different from the others in construction and appearance, so in just a few miles of driving, it was easy to get enough footage to show many different tunnels with very different looks. Arana Gulch is a park in Santa Cruz where I shot the scenes where I was up in trees. It's a park where people ride their bikes, walk their dogs, feed the herd of grazing cattle. There are two streams that cut through the park, and I wanted these steep stream banks as backdrops, so it looked like I was actually higher up in the trees than I really was. And a nice perk, because it's in Santa Cruz, I could climb a tree in a life jacket and full kayaking gear, and no one would give me a second look. And lastly, my home office. Quick tour of the office set. Here is a staged life jacket and kayak seat, some surf booties. This was the backdrop behind where we were shooting. So let's spin around and we'll see a little tripod here that we used for our secondary camera. We have a big travel tripod here that we used for our main camera. The lights behind the monitor are kind of cool. I had lights there already, but they flickered with the new GoPro. So this light strip you see, I actually ordered for the office to hang on the wall, but set it up here as a temporary light just for this shoot. I did also get one quick shot in my own backyard. It's less than a second long. Here it is. And one more time. It's from when Will falls out of the tree and then splashes down back in the tunnel. I had planned the sequence so the lens would be obscured because I wanted the audience to feel the same sense of disorientation that Will felt. But the rough cut of this scene felt like it was missing something, and I think this quick shot helped a lot. Take a look. Here's the rough cut. And here's the final cut with the additional falling shot added in. It works just a bit better, I think. So that's a little more about the real locations that brought this surreal landscape to life.